Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with the Heat of the Streets, man. Second Showtime. Hey, look, man. First of all, congratulations to the Lakers the other night. They beat Memphis at home. Took care of business. Um, they almost lost the lead again tonight, but they held them off. I think they won by like 5 points. I gotta go back and check the score. Um, because I've been following a lot of sports news today. I'm following a lot of scores for the NFL. Some of the NBA. And I've been following a lot of the Kaepernick story for him possibly signing with the Texans, but I'll get to that in another video after this one. But I wanted to talk about that video I just posted and the link I just posted down below in the description. Go check that video out and then click the link. It's going to bring you to another video and it's titled "Why Lonzo Ball is Struggling with His Shot." And But I wanted to talk about another factor that could be related to Lonzo in his game, in terms of him um, and other rookies coming in to the NBA, and other guys that are technically not rookies, but they came in the same time as Lonzo, 18, 19-year-old kids. Um, Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma is what I really want to focus on. But I'm gonna talk about a couple of other guys real quick. When you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, and where he came from, when he was 19 years old, he wasn't ready for the NBA, at least not yet. Um, but he had already played professionally in Greece. And yeah, the Euro ball is different than the NBA ball. But if you learn how to shoot the three in Europe, you can shoot an NBA three. You can do all of that. You mean you can dribble, you can Euro step. You pretty much know everything there is to know about basketball in America by pretty much doing it in Europe. And the ball is different, but I know a lot of the U.S. players when they played on the Redeem team in 2008, 2012, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. They said the European ball was easier to shoot with. It was better. It was a better basketball. But Giannis Antetokounmpo played a lot of years in Greece and all this other stuff. Ricky Rubio, when he first came over from Spain, wasn't NBA ready, but they waited for him um, to finish up his commitments in Spain, and eventually he became a pretty solid. I mean, pretty solid point guard. Really was never like an all star or nothing like that. That's primarily because he couldn't shoot. Now he has developed a jump shot in recent years, but I thought Ricky Rubio could have been a nice, could have been an all star in the West if it wasn't so top. First of all, if it wasn't so top heavy too at the point guard position, and two, if they won more in Minnesota with him, and three, if he had a jump shot. Because if you're efficient and you got numbers and people know you and you win, you get all star appearances. Trust me, it's more of a popularity contest than anything. It's not even about like really numbers and shit. And I feel like that's sort of a little bit fucked up because it's certain dudes that don't even deserve to be in the fucking All Star game. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, like, Kobe and Jordan. I mean, but we all know what that was about. That was a respect thing. Because Kobe was terrible last year. Jordan was alright. I mean, he averaged like 20 points a game his last 2 years with the Wizards. Um, and even in '98 when he was older, he averaged like 25 or something like that. But I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, but Rubio was one. It was like 18, 19 when he came out. Minnesota waited for him to finish his stuff up in Spain, and it became a solid point guard. But it took him a few years to like really learn how to shoot. Um, but he also had Kevin Love, um, who had years in the NBA, couple years in the NBA, to help him look good or whatever. Now they still weren't winning, but he was helping them look good. Passing the ball to Kevin Love, shooting threes and getting rebounds and getting put back buckets. That made Rubio look good for a little bit. Emmanuel Mudiay played in China for a year because he didn't want to go to college. Um, he's a nice player for Denver. I feel like Denver will probably go to the playoffs as a 7 or 8 seed. Him and Jamal Murray was another one. Came out I think last year. Um, from Kentucky, 18 years old. He was a sniper in Kentucky. He shot threes all over the place, and he struggled to shoot early on in his career last year. But eventually, he figured it out. This is second. I think it's second or third year now. Um, and then you go to guys like Chris Dunn, who was a true point guard, passed the ball a lot, but could also shoot a little bit too. I thought it was a mistake for Minnesota to trade him, but when you get Jimmy Butler, go get Jimmy Butler. But Andrew Wiggins, another one, struggled with his jump shot early. Now he's better at it. And he came in 18, 19 years old, and they waited for him to develop because they knew he was special. Jabari Parker got mad injuries, and he came in 19 years old. Now he had a better skill set than Lonzo, and he's also not a point guard. He's a small forward. But they waited on him to get healthy. They had to wait for him to get healthy every time he got hurt. Joel Embiid, we don't even got to get into that because we don't even got to get into that, man. Like, you want to talk about being impatient? Like, this not the NFL where, okay, if you're not doing it in 2 or 3 years, everybody like, oh, we need to draft a quarterback or another receiver because this is basketball. Let your players develop 2 or 3 years. Let them refine their games and make up for the time that they didn't spend in college. Because look, we all know the NCAA is pimping these little youngins out here, man. And like I said, I'm older than Lonzo, so I can say shit like that. I'm older than Lonzo by a few years. Um, and we know these dudes, what I'm saying? These dudes getting, what I'm saying, getting treated like shit in college. Well, not like shit, but what I'm saying? They not really like getting everything that they should be getting, like money, because they making these universities billions of dollars, and they not getting shit for their merchandise, they possible shoe deals, nothing. And they, what I'm saying, they selling Nikes, Jordans, Adidas, what I'm saying, they selling sponsors. Why you think they putting sponsorships on jerseys now, or about to put sponsorships on jerseys? Because they want to exploit these college kids, and they gonna do it in the NBA too. I think they already started doing it in the NBA. But the players probably not gonna get a share of that. That's why they go out and get $200 million endorsement deals. But Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, getting back to the basketball part of it, that's part of the reason why. I think Lonzo's age has a lot to do with his basketball maturity. Why? Because he's 20 years old, so he's like a year removed, like a year, 2 years removed from high school, and a year from removed from UCLA, a few months from playing March Madness. So his game isn't as refined as a dude like Kyle Kuzma, who came out as a junior. I think it was a junior or a senior. We don't get a lot of dudes like that in the NBA, and if we do, they question a lot of those dudes because it's like, yo, what's wrong with them? Why it takes so long for them to come out? But maybe a lot of I heard that with Buddy Hield. When Buddy Hield came out last year, everybody was like, why the hell did it take? I mean, they was lauding over him, and he became a first round pick. I think he was taken eighth overall by New Orleans before they traded him away in that DeMarcus Cousins deal last year. Um, Buddy Hield, people was questioning Buddy Hield, like, why did it take him so long to come out? Like, what is wrong with him? Like, and they figured it out. They was like, he wasn't the same player that he was as a freshman, sophomore, junior, that he was as a senior. Now, they say he got better every year. They said he got better every year, and eventually he became the sharpshooter that everybody seen at Oklahoma. And he even struggled to play in the NBA for a little bit. In New Orleans, he really couldn't find his shot and all that. Now he's starting to put it all together in Sacramento. And I think that team gonna be something in the future. You know what I'm saying? Within the next 2 or 3 years, Sacramento gonna be back on top. Well, not back on top, but they're gonna be viable. Like once the Golden State dynasty kind of like died down a little bit, and San Antonio like kind of fade into the abyss a little bit. Because I think after Parker and Ginobili and them retire, I think San Antonio might go down a little bit. I mean, I think they'll still make the playoffs, but I think they won't be as formidable with just LaMarcus Aldridge if they decide to keep him and Kawhi Leonard as they stars. Um, Buddy Hill struggled. Um, Buddy Hill struggled early, and he was a senior coming out, but it was different at the NBA level. Now Kyle Kuzma, he has an advantage because he's 6'10", can rebound, can really shoot, and I feel like he has a refined game that he refined at Utah when he was playing college basketball. He stayed 3 years. Lonzo came out like a lot of these dudes come out 18, 19 years old. They fresh, they wet behind the ears, they not really NBA ready. Not that they saying they will never be NBA ready, but some of them do struggle early on in their NBA careers. And the biggest knock on Lonzo Ball is that he can't shoot. Well, hell, Tony Parker couldn't shoot when he first came into the league. He was a pass first point guard, and a lot of people knock him for his lack of aggressiveness. Once again, Tony Parker was, and you could see it a little bit as he got older too. Tony Parker would like go baseline and dribble, and then turn and then take it back out. You know, saying set the offense back up. You know, call the play, put his hand up. You know, like play three or whatever. Where you know, what I'm saying he'll call out the set. And Parker was a raw talent. I think Lonzo Ball is a raw talent. He's a rare talent. He's a special talent, and we seen that tonight with his passing ability. And he was aggressive tonight against Memphis, but he just has to have better shot selection. And I think he does need to tinker his shot motion a little bit because it just looks weird. I mean, like I said about people like Sean Murray and Kevin Martin, their shot forms were a little. I mean, they was ugly too, but they developed them to the point where I think they got comfortable with it and they knew that they could make it at the NBA level. Now, is Lonzo comfortable with his shot? I think so because he takes a lot of shots, whether it's inside or outside. I think he needs to get comfortable shooting the NBA three. I don't think his shot. I don't think that shot form is a good 3 point shot form. But if you wanted to shoot that as like a 2 point as like a 2 point shot, I would I would endorse it. But I don't think you would have a different form for your 2 point shot that you were the 3 point shot. That's just weird. It throws your rhythm off. But I think Kyle Kuzma is just better right now because he's a lot more mature. The dude 20 like 22, 23 years old. Lonzo was only 20 coming out 1 year out of college as opposed to 3 years. I think Kyle Kuzma just has a better refined game to him. And Lonzo, like Andrew Wiggins, like Jabari Parker, like Joel Embiid, even though he was hurt, like Ben Simmons, even though he doesn't have a shot in the NBA, I think he'll eventually develop next year and the year after that. I think he'll obviously get better and he'll do his thing the way people know he can do his thing. He'll pass the ball first, and I think his shot will come second. But anyway, man, that's just my thoughts on it, man. I'm gone.